Starting.
And we're live. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Tim from ChildOfMecha.com here, the one and only. Welcome to the 9th episode of Gunpla Talk. I'm your host, and for those of you that are new to joining us, this is basically our web show where we sit back and chill and talk about Gunpla once a month. So every once in a while, we'll have a guest on, like we do today. What we'll do is we'll start by going around the panel right now. We got Echo. And, for those that are
Yes.
This is basically our web show where we Alrighty. Got Echo. Yes.
How do you stop the echo? That's weird. Is that right now? I guess so, hopefully. Back to it.
Alrighty. So, sorry everybody. A little bit of technical difficulties. Who's got the echo?
Is that right now? I guess so, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't hear anything now.
Back to it.
Back to it, all right?
Maybe it was it Josh?
A little bit of technical difficulties.
There you go.
Who's got the echo?
Right now?
Okay. Should I? Yeah. What do you got, Tim? How can I fix this?
Back to it.
Make sure you mute YouTube. If you have that open, make sure you mute it.
No, I don't have YouTube open.
No? Okay. I think we should be good then. Alright, so anyway, sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties and all. What we'll do is we'll go around the panel right now. We're still waiting on Mr. Simon from Gundam UK, and we might actually be joined by good old Jim from Gunpla Fixation. But let's start with everybody that we have on right now, which is only Zach and Josh. So we have Zach, ZakuAurelius. Say hi, Zach. Introduce yourself to the peoples.
Hello, I'm ZakuAurelius, and if you're watching this, you probably know who I am, considering this is on my channel at the moment, so that's it. I'm ZakuAurelius. Yes.
All right, good deal.
That's it.
Short and simple.
Yes.
All right, and so we also have our esteemed guest, 2015 Gunpla Builders World Cup Australian winner and world finalist, Mr. Josh Darrah. Josh, introduce yourself to the peoples.
Hey guys, yes, this is Josh. Thanks very much for having me on the show. I check you guys out every month, so this is really cool to be a guest on here. And I live in Australia, and I entered the GBWC for my first time this year, and surprisingly I got first place for it, and I got to go to Japan this year for the grand final, which was really cool, and so I'm here to share how I build and the things that I'm into with all the viewers, and just talk about Gunpla with you guys, so I'm looking forward to it.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And so, let's jump right in. We're going to go to Zach. We're going to talk about Gunpla news first. And then we're going to talk about a little bit what each of us is going to work on. And then we'll get right into the conversation and really into the meat of everything and kind of see how GBWC was and talk about your build style, the whole 9 yards. So, Zach, go ahead and take it away with Gunpla news, brother.
Yo, well, nothing yet, really, because last month in December there was like pretty much nothing, not very much, and then this month we haven't got the new announcements yet. So we did get a couple of new designs for some new HG Ironblood Orphans kits, but that is really going to be about it. One of them is what looks like it's just the frame, just the Gundam frame. All we've got is just like the silhouette. Did you guys see that yet?
From the new kits?
Yeah.
I saw them.
There's just a few silhouette images, and one of them is just the silhouette of like just the Gundam frame. So like they're going to be releasing that like as a kit, possibly, or that's weird. Do you guys see that?
Yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of the Iron-Blooded Orphans, so I don't really keep up with it as much as other people do. So it looks cool. We'll see.
Mm. There's that, and the kits that are out this month in the series is including the Grey's Kai 2, and then the other one that also doesn't have a name yet. I think it's supposed to be released this month, but according to the Bandai phone app that gives you like a calendar of like when the kits are coming out for the month, it's not in there. So I don't know if it's been postponed till next month, or if they're like really waiting till the last minute to put that up there, because I think the name of the Gundam is going to be kind of relative to the story, so maybe they don't want to spoil that by putting it on there. I don't know. Mysterious.
Hey guys.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Josh, everybody.
Hey, yeah. Hey.
The one and only Jim from Gunpla Fixation.
Back from the dead.
Look at him.
Oh boy.
Hey, Jim.
I like that t-shirt, man.
By the way, guys, get this cool T-shirt at the web store.
Very good.
We're all rocking the gear today.
Definitely.
Sorry for the interruption. No, I just I gotta head back to work, but I just kind of wanted to jump in and say hi and see how you guys were doing, and say hi to Joshua. And,
hey, Jim.
Hey, congrats, by the way.
Thanks,
I think I congratulated you, but personally, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man.
On the whole journey, and of course on the contributions to the community, right? So it's pretty cool.
Thanks, man. I'm still getting echo, guys, so I might hang up and then rejoin and see if I can get rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Okay, sure. I was just in the middle of talking about the non-news. Honestly, that's pretty much it. There really hasn't been a whole lot, because after November, which is when we got like loads at the GBWC, so since then it hasn't really been a whole lot, except just more HG Iron-Blooded Orphans. Even the next 1/100 in that series, we don't know what it's going to be yet. So not really a whole lot to talk about, sadly, for that.
Well, we have been seeing some cool pictures come out of the Mechanicore Deep Striker, Tief Stürmer, whatever German name that thing is. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I can't wait to get it. So.
Oh, you pre-ordered it?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it like pretty much straight away.
Right.
I had to think about it for maybe a couple days. This was like over a year ago, right? When it first went up for pre-order. It was a long time ago. I thought about it for a couple days just because it's a lot of money, right? I think it was like $350.
Yep.
So, but then I thought, and then, like I mentioned before, I think that with those kits, it's like, get it, and then, if for whatever reason I never get around to it, or, just decide that I don't want it, I can always sell it again in a limited run, so I can probably resell it again for exactly the same amount as I bought it for, if not more. So I'm looking forward to it. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts and concerns? And Jim has it coming as well, right?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it. Justin also pre-ordered it. We're kind of waiting on our provider to send us the invoice.
Where did you guys order it
from King's Toyland.
Okay.
Which is kind of like the same as Samuel, but I mean, in terms of selling kits, he doesn't do decals, but I think that the same. I think the same goodies or extras that Samuel offers, King's also offer, because it was the same thing with the Penelope and the Cassie Gundam, whatever. So yeah, we pre-ordered it. The killer's gonna be the shipping, because the box is huge.
Oh, you haven't got an invoice for shipping yet?
Not yet. You got yours, right?
Yeah.
Did you pre-order from King's?
Samuel.
Oh, from Samuel. Well, yeah, I think Samuel might have done that quicker, but
Kings did, man.
Kings pinged me like 2 weeks ago saying, "Hey, heads up, I'm gonna send you an invoice soon."
Okay.
And that's when I kind of said, can you bundle Justin's and because I think it's might be cheaper for everybody because the box is huge. If you can bundle both in one package and send it, then maybe save a little bit of shipping. Yeah, but
I would wonder
a couple of things. Yeah, a couple of things with that kit. One is the base. And Zach, you and I have talked about this, right?
Right.
And I spoke to Kings about it because Kings, I believe he has a form of contacting Mechanicore or their team, whatever. And I told Kings that thing's gonna fall, right? That thing's gonna you're gonna touch it, that thing's gonna wobble and down to the floor, right?
Yeah.
And King said, yeah, but they're looking into that, whatever. They're solving the issue, putting a metal brace on the back or whatever. That's not my concern. My concern is that single peg, right? Like the saying goes.
Yeah, right.
The chain breaks through the weakest link, right? You can have a brace on the back holding the entire kit together. But if the entire kit ultimately rests on that little tiny peg, if you look at the instruction manual, which is available online, you see that everything is resting on that little tiny peg. That's my biggest concern. So most likely I'll chuck that base. I'll use my own custom base, whatever. But my second concern is what Tim says, right? This is not a kit for beginners, right? This is a modeler's kit. It is a modeler's kit. You gotta put some TLC into it. It's a beautiful kit looking at it from a distance, but when you look at up close, you see the little tiny issues, right? You see some spots here and there that need kind of filling. You see some gaps, so it's not, and just from talking to Justin has experience building Mechanicore kits. It's gonna require some work, so but I'm looking forward to it.
Have you built any Mechanicore or Elin kits before, Jim?
I have half of a Kshatriya built.
Yes, nice. So does everybody.
Yeah, I started building the Kshatriya, and this is cool. I got to a point where I thought to myself, I cannot build this like a Bandai kit because my mentality was, this is a model kit, is a Gundam, right? I'm gonna build it kind of like I build my regular Bandai kits. With the Kshatriya, you can't really do that. You cannot get into that mindset because you get into trouble.
Yeah.
My opinion is the best way to build that kit is by sections, and basically you build and fully detail and paint a part, and then you move on to the next section and you put it together at the end. Sort of like how it's very similar to how Justin built his Kissi Gundam for his client. That's exactly how he did it, and I think that's the best way. Bandai kits, you usually just do a dry build. You build everything, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at the issues, or you look at what mods you're gonna do, and then you take it apart. You put it on sticks. Just thinking of taking apart that Kshatriya once built.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God! I got to a point where this is gonna be painful, right? And the other thing is the whole circuit lighting thing. Those cables are kind of thick, and well, anyway, that's another talk for another build. We should do a Gunpla Talk on building just third-party kits, right? So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's supposed to come out, I think, at the end of this month. So let's see. We'll see how it goes.
Half the fun of getting kits like that is opening them up, checking out all the parts, and looking at the instructions and just kind of seeing it. And then you pack it back up, and who knows what you do with it later. Yeah.
That's exactly what I do, right? So that's what a lot of people do. And I'm with Zach, right? I so far I have all the Mechanicore kits, which are 2 basically, or 3 if you count the Eden one. I got all 3, and from an engineering point of view, I like them. I like how some things I think they could do better. And I know Justin and I kind of butt heads on that, but the quality, it's. But I mean, I want a 100 Kissi Gundam. I don't think Bandai will ever do one. Maybe an RE, and the detail's not gonna be there. So. What about you, Joshua? What kind of kits do I know you, master grades are a given, but
Yeah.
do you dabble in Kurobukia, or do you dabble in some other type of mech kits, or is it just?
No, not really. My housemate, he built the Kotobukiya Metal Gear Rex.
Oh, nice.
So I was helping him put that together. That was his first model kit, or snap together model kit. And just seeing how the tolerances are slightly different, or how the peg systems, they look the same, but they're not the same as Bandai. And after I had done like maybe 30 or 40 Bandai kits, when I did the Kotobukiya, it was crazy to see that I could actually tell the difference just from between snapping kits. Like most people who don't build wouldn't be able to tell the difference, but it was interesting, yeah. But I'm mainly Bandai kits, just because I guess I'm new to the hobby, relatively a few years, so there's just a stockpile of kits for me to go through. So there's just always a new one for me to get. And so I mainly like master grades because I love the inner frame, putting it together and having all the little pistons and everything, and it's kind of like how my brain plays like a little boy. I'm like, oh, it's like it's real, because look, I can see all the mechanical parts. So I really like the master grades for that, and they're easy for customization because mainly the armor comes off and you can plug it back on and off a lot easier. But of course, I love high grades because you can get heaps of different designs that aren't master grades yet. So I get a bunch of high grades as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole inner frame thing is perfect for your. I've seen your mods. You like doing the whole armor splitting, where you can kind of see a little bit of that. You get to see that part of the inner frame that you usually don't do it if you don't mod the armor, right? So
yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I have a couple earlier mods that I have a couple images to show everybody when I hadn't learned as much how to do less is more with the armor cutting, and there's some big holes in some of my earlier builds. Yeah.
Yeah, I am a fan of that technique. I need to kind of try it out. So one day I'll probably try it out, and most likely I'll use you as my reference.
Man, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's although I don't think I'll be as clean as you, because that's one of the things that also I wanted to kind of bring up is how I don't know how you do it, bro. It's just to me, I don't know. I try to see where's. Like, I try to see, okay, where the sand marks, or where did he go wrong, but a lot of people tell me that my mods, although not as complex as your mods, because mine are way more simpler, but people tell me, oh, those are very clean. Like, I know, like, Jeff Montoya once told me, like, oh, that's super clean the way you did that, whatever. But then, it's nothing compared to you, because I have to use sanding paper a lot. I have to, like, use putty. Like, it looks clean at the end, but yours look like kind of like a stock, like they came out of the box that way.
Man, it takes a lot of time. Like, yeah, I'm working with like 1 millimeter or 1/4 millimeter tolerances, and I'm filing things, and like the Sananju, just each little tiny armor piece, I would spend a whole night on one piece trying to get it right. And I think maybe because I've always been like drawing or sculpting or painting since I was a little kid, so getting used to like having my hands up close with my eye, I think I've just been doing that my whole life. So maybe that's translated over to my Gundam and Gunpla. And I'm semi OCD without actually being technically OCD. I will stick with something until I feel it's like nearly exactly what my brain wants. Yeah.
That's a good thing when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah.
No, dude, I know that feeling very well. That OCD thing where you just look at it and you're like, yeah, I could add more detail to that.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. After 3 years, man, I'm right there with you, brother.
Oh man.
that's why that hummingbird still isn't flying, right?
Yeah. Dude, it's so close though, man. It's so close.
I know. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. So it's one of those, that build style that you have. I really love it. That's an Anju. It's one of my favorites. But I think one of my favorite builds of you is that helmet you painted with the skateboard helmet.
Speaking of,
there you go.
There we go. Yeah, this was my new skateboard helmet. And it's like army color. And then I thought, wait, I think this is when I was doing my Senenju, and I had been spending hours on it. And I'm like, I want to do something fun. So I got all the Neo Xeon symbols, and anti to my OCD, I just put masking tape all over this thing and cut directly on it. And I didn't try and make all my lines parallel or anything like that. I just did it quick and easy, and I did it in like an hour and a half, and it was so much fun. But yeah, you like it. Nice one.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. That was cool.
Yeah.
Definitely very cool.
All right,
So
guys. Anyway, I gotta go get back to work. I just kind of wanted to kind of jump in a little bit and say hi to you guys and ask Josh a couple of questions and just basically just chew the fat for a while. But hey, thanks for hosting this, Zach and Tim.
Yo.
And I'll be in the chat for a while, but I gotta get back to work, and I'll see you guys later, all right?
Cool.
Fist bump, Jim.
Thank you,
See ya.
Jimmy.
Bam.
All right.
Hi, Jim.
Fist bump. Ciao.
All
All
right.
right.
Good man. Good man.
So-
So we were talking about Gunpla news.
Yeah, that's it.
I know, Zach, you said it's a slow month, so you got anything else for us?
No, it'll be today is still the 17th here, 16th there. It'll be not till around the 23rd that we start getting the news for this month. So next month I'll have more to talk about. So we can move
good
on.
work
I think.
on all those videos, Zach. 'Cause, man, that's a lot of work to gather all that info and put it all together.
It is.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's all right. I mean,
Nice.
it's a gotta. At this point, I pretty much have to do it because if I stop doing it, I think a lot of people would be upset because I think a lot of people that's what they really enjoy about my channel. So
Yeah. It's nice to have it all compiled in one spot for them, for sure.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, sure.
Definitely. How many subscribers you got now, Zach?
13,500, something like that.
Nice. Wow. So you're gonna stop? It's not really working out for you. No.
Yeah, it's just not really getting the growth that I wanted. So I just give
He's
up.
not that popular.
I will say though that the for like the past week or two, the AdSense is really down. So I don't know what that's about. Kinda weird.
It's actually, you mean like the revenue per view or the actual site?
Just the total revenue. Like the views
Wow.
have been like the same, if not more views, but the AdSense is way down. It's like less than half of what it was like on average a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Weird. So I don't know, but
It doesn't work like oil prices, how they go up and down. Maybe it does.
I wondered if YouTube maybe changed something or what. So
Hey, YouTube, if you're watching, hook up Zach. He deserves it.
yeah, quit lowering the freaking prices. No, I don't know. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'm fine, but just noticeable difference there.
Yeah. Rock and roll. All right, so let's talk
Yeah.
about kind of what each of us are working on. I kind of already said it, and pretty much everybody already knows I'm still working on the Hummingbird. So there's not really much headway there. It's really close. I've got 2 of the leg boosters that I've got to finish doing detail painting on, and everything else is panel lined and clear coated. It's ready for decals. So. Man, it's so close. I can taste it right now.
Wow, man.
But, there's nothing really. There's no new pictures. Let's put it that way. It would be boring to show pictures anyway. So
Yeah.
I think the next. I think the next really big post about the Hummingbird will probably be when it's completed. I might show some decals and stuff, but man, I think I'm gonna let it go until it's completed. So.
I got a question for you.
What's
Tim,
that?
I got a question for you. What are you planning to do next after the Hummingbird? You have to have some ideas stored away.
Dude, I have so many ideas rattling in my brain, brother. You have no idea. All right, so let me run down a laundry list of things I gotta do. All right, so I stripped that my Blue Destiny back a few months ago. I've got that on the bench. I'm gonna build a Jesta cannon, my own version of a Jesta cannon. I'm not gonna let too many details on that because it should be pretty damn cool. Man, I've got this crazy camphor idea rattling around in my brain. I've got a 1/60th Dom Glorious version that I gotta do something with. I got the Mechanicore Zai I've got to do something with. Man, I just dropped money on a 1/100 Barbados. I hate that kit with a passion. It's the ugliest design in the world. But you know what? I bought it. I'm going to remodel it my way, and I'm going to turn it into a Barbados version child of Mecca. I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to teach Bandai how to design these damn things. So
nice.
that's what I got, man. So,
and man, when you do that custom, you'll send it in. They'll be so amazed. They're like, "Wow, this guy knows what we should have done." They'll reanimate the whole series with your design in the series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Nah, nothing like that. I mean, I just like, man, I just like doing everything just out of the ordinary, out of the box. That's what I do, man.
Yeah.
So.
When do you get your ideas? Are you like just watching TV or something, and all of a sudden you think of something for your camphor, or how does it pop into your brain?
Man, you know, so many things. It's like any artist, man, and I'm sure you're probably the same way, man. Inspiration hits whenever it hits. You know, it could hit in the middle of the day, it could hit in the middle of the night, it could hit when you're waking up, it could hit when you're in the toilet, you know? It could hit whenever. So, you know, I'm a member of a lot of the Gunpla groups online. I follow a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram and everything like that. And, you know, I pick up little tidbits from here and there, you know, little details that I like, and then, you know, I will try to incorporate things that I like that other people have done into my builds. You know, it's just you know how it is, man. It's just inspiration hits whenever, you know?
Yeah.
So, what are you working on, man?
What am I working on? I'm joining the group build, Titans, and we're working on the 1/100 Grays.
Okay.
So I've got mine almost all built here. I still have the arms to do. Really fun kit, simple to build, straightforward, but really fun, especially for the price. It was a design that when it first was announced and in the show, I didn't really like it, but then you watch it flying around fighting in the show a couple episodes, and then you just love it. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm working on that. So everybody's going to do their own kind of custom work on the Grays. So I'm working on what I'm going to do with mine soon. So I'll be starting that soon. And I showed you guys the other day, but I'll show everybody. Built myself a Super Fumina. This is just the most ridiculous kit that it even exists. I love it. It's cool. Really different build. I haven't built any of the Bandai Stormtroopers or anything, so I was new to the humanoid sort of shape. But really cool. But when you're putting her face together, until you put the faceplate on, she has these crazy like demon robot eyes, which is half of the fun of putting her head together. Yeah. So that was fun to put that together.
Nice.
And then I also got Jessica Cannon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I just got that in the mail a few days ago. I built the MG Jester, and of course, like everybody, I wanted the Jessica Cannon to come out. So I'm just gonna have fun straight building this for now and just putting it together. So that'll be my next relaxation build.
Nice.
And other than that, just wondering what I'm gonna do for GBWC this year. So I might talk about that a little bit later or something. Yeah. Or would you like to talk about it now?
You know what? Let's save it till later, because I know there's a few people that asked about it, and you know, I'd say let's save it till later. Let's kind of be a reveal for people.
Okay. Yeah.
It'd be good. So, cool. Well, thank you, brother.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Zach, what are you working on, man?
Yo, I've finished painting my master grade wing. I just need to start working on the decals. Here is that. You can see. So everything is all painted, and all the wings and stuff is over here too.
Had you built that kit before, Zach?
No, it was the first time. So it does have some tricky areas. Here's like the wing there.
Because man, that's one of the most like famous, popular kits because of those wings.
Right. Yeah. I've built the perfect grade. Like when I was in high school, I built the perfect grade because that was like the kit like from when I first got started into Gunpla. Of course, it was around that time. So like after shopping around online, it was like that was like the holy grail kit that I always wanted because it looked so cool. And finally saved up the money and got it, and like snap built it, and like actually as it sits now, it's actually not even finished snapped. The rifles aren't built, and it's just in my parents' garage at home.
You got that weapon fatigue at the end.
Yeah, and yeah. So that is the only other one that I've built. I have the RG, and I'm probably gonna snap up the RG next week because I want to build that one before the new one comes out.
Oh yeah,
so
cool.
That I can like have some reference to be able to compare it when I review it. So I'll snap up the RG maybe next week, and yeah, I have built the Master Grade Verka as well, but no other Angel Wing ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, so just need to put the decals on that. Hopefully it should finish within a couple days. Then the next thing I'm going to paint is going to be this guy, who is a little bit in pieces at the moment, but it's going to be this Keroro figure, Keroro model. I already reviewed this on my channel, so maybe you saw a video about that. Anyway, just a really cool little thing. I actually don't really know much about the series, and I've never really watched the anime or anything, but it's kind of cool and cute, right? And it should take like an hour to paint.
That's cool. I like how he's cute, but just also really angry.
Yes, that's why I went with this one instead of just the regular Keroro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a little bit more style to it, I think. And then after that, I was just yesterday, I just suddenly thought that I really want to paint my Master Grade Cubelé, because that's the videos I've been doing this weekend on my channel is the review for the HG Cubelé, the new revived one. And I was just thinking that I have the Master Grade Mark II, the red one. I was like, I really want to build and paint that suddenly. So after the Giroro, if I think I have some time and I want to do that, maybe we'll be painting that. If not, then we'll be painting the PG Banshee. So here's that.
Painting the PG Banshee. I don't even know how long that would take.
A long time.
Wow, man.
I would be doing that like in sections as well. I don't want like just painting, doing like all one leg all at once.
Yeah.
Then moving on to do like the next leg all at once. But yeah, I think
my world, Zach.
Yeah. Right. So I think I mentioned this when we met up last weekend, but I was really disappointed. I never expected it to be able to hold up the arm with the armed armor on there, but the rifle is kind of disappointing that the wrist is not strong enough to hold up the rifle. So,
is it a standard PG wrist connection that most other PGs have?
I guess so.
Okay.
I've built a couple other PGs, but I don't remember the wrist joint well enough to compare. But it's just like just a ball joint.
Just a ball joint, yeah. Damn, that sucks. Cause man, you want him to hold up the gun and shoot because he's a Gundam. Yeah, darn.
I wonder if maybe the Unicorn is fine because it doesn't have the revolving launcher, but this one has the extra weight on it.
A bit of weight, yeah.
So
and I'm sure you know the good old super glue trick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Fix that. Yeah, sure, but I think it's fine. Actually, I don't want to like have it in some like action pose or something. I'm just gonna have it like that anyway. So I think just plugged onto the back of the arm actually looks pretty cool as well.
Yeah,
so
cool.
I'll probably just leave it like that.
Man, and painting your heavily. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say he just brass rod the wrist right through. You'd be good.
Yeah.
Or just bowl of super glue and just dip the whole hand and the gun in and then take it out and then you'll be golden. Yeah.
Yeah, might have a little bit of fogging on there, but it should be okay.
Oh man, but that Cubelé, painting one of those at MG with those big wing binders, that would be so nice to paint because it's so much space. Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
I was just looking at that because I was like checking it out on Dalong. I was like, yeah, that really wouldn't take that long to paint because it's got like 10 armor parts. That's just all these huge parts.
Yeah.
So like just painting the frame would be like, I would just I would only bother painting just the exposed parts, and then it has very minimal number in terms of armor parts, so it really wouldn't be too long of a project, I think, to paint that kit.
Yeah. What color scheme would you do? Would you do like metallic or a straight color?
Oh yeah, I just want to keep it red like that probably. Just the question that I would have to consider would be if I want to top coat it glossy or matte.
Oh yeah, that's a tough one.
Looks really good in both, so yeah, I'd have to think about that. Or maybe a mix of both. Maybe I'm thinking maybe just only the red glossy and then everything else matte.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. A different balance of texture, they contrast off each other. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
you should do like what Clem does in the striping.
Yeah.
Clem striping, as they call it, alternating the gloss and matte. Looks like a Van Halen poster or something.
That'd be cool. I would like to try something like that. Maybe not as much striping, but maybe just like one big stripe on a shield or something like that. It would be cool to try something like that. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for my plans. Also, planning on starting a mega-sized Zaku, and I'm going to be doing a build-off with Henry for that. So that'll be coming up relatively soon as well. But,
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good deal. All right. So let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Yes.
Let's talk about Josh.
Hey!
Man, Josh, from everything that I've seen on your Instagram and Facebook and the videos that you've posted and everything, man, you're like a Renaissance dude, man. You're like into everything. You build award-winning models, man. You skateboard, you paint cool skate helmets, you do some awesome videos, man. You take trips to Asia and be part of some cool modeling things and all that. You swing over to GBWC, you see the full-size Gundam, man. You're a man about the world, man.
Yeah, man, I'm really lucky. Like, I have opportunities that come up, and for some reason I can partake in them. But I think it's maybe in my blood, or thanks to my parents, I just get into things, and I stumble on hobbies that I really like, and then I just have all this energy for them, and I just get really into it. So yeah, it's really fun. Yeah.
Well, it definitely shows, man. It absolutely shows. So let's get right into it. Let's kind of, I guess, how did you get started in, the whole Gunpla hobby?
I grew up watching Transformers, the old school cartoon. So I used to love those, and I used to build scale model kits when I was younger, the standard kind of planes and tanks and motorcycles and stuff like that. I've always been doing art through my whole life, and it was about 3 years ago that I was walking through Kmart, and I saw a little miniature Transformer, and he had a similar sort of old school design. So I bought him, and I was playing with him, and then I thought, I might do some battle damage on this guy. And I bought the little Tamiya enamel paints that I used to paint when I was like 13 or 14. Painted him up, and I got on some Transformer forums and stuff, and then I got into Transformers, and I was buying all the Masterpiece figures from Japan, because of course I'm an adult and I can afford them now. So buying all of those, and I was customizing, and then a Japanese website where I was buying my Transformers from, they had a sale, and they had a Gundam kit on sale. I had seen them on the Transformers forum, and I thought, what's this Gundam thing? They all look the same. They've all got the V-fin. I swear it's the same robot. How is everybody so into this one robot? And I had no idea what real life was like back then, guys, but now I know. So then they had a sale on, and they had the high-grade Gaia Gundam, and it was like, I don't know, 1,000 yen or something like $10 bucks. And so I picked that up, and it blew me away because I was used to model kits that had all the runners just being in gray, and of course you glue them and you have to paint them and everything. And as soon as I opened it up and saw that A runner for the first time with all the colors, it was really cool. And of course I built that just the first night. I didn't go to sleep. So then from that, when it finished and you could pose it and everything, I just kept buying more of them. And then Transformers, I just pretty much forgot about them. Yeah. So so that's how it happened. I'll still buy a Masterpiece every now and then, but man, just so much Gundam kits. Yeah.
Nice. Now, do you watch the anime and everything too?
I haven't watched as much of the anime. I've only watched a couple episodes of the original series. I've watched all of 00, which I really liked. And I've watched Unicorn. So Unicorn was kind of the hot topic for the anime or the OVA when I was getting into it. So watching the Sananju and the Unicorn fight each other, and of course the opening scene with the Kshatriya. I just love that scene. Yeah. So I watched that, and then I've watched the Build Fighters as well, just because that's just silly fun. I know that's your favorite show, Tim. You love that one.
Absolutely, man. I got it on loop on my DVR, brother.
Yes, you're just cosplaying as all the characters at the Comic-Con.
I got my Super Fumina cosplay like right out.
Man, please do that.
I'm gonna stop here just after we get done, man.
Oh man, unveil.
I just like to feel like a girl.
Unveil your hummingbird with yourself in Super Fumina costume. Yeah.
Wow, that's so meta.
Dude, that's such a bad mental picture, man.
Oh man, yeah. So I've watched a bunch of the cartoons, but I'm just mega into building. Every time a new kit's announced or blogs have new stories, I love just checking them out. And of course, ordering new kits is half the fun, even if you don't build them. Yeah, getting that delivery is so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely, man. It's like somebody posted a meme the other day, and it was like Santa Claus is for little kids what the UPS truck is for like adults. You know? No, I totally get it.
And like I have times where I'm tracking it on my phone, and I'm out somewhere away from my house, and it's like on board with driver, and I'm like, no, and it's like this panic race through the city to get back to my house in time. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
We can all relate, man. That's for sure. Yeah.
But one thing I'm surprised about. Oh yeah. One thing I was just blown away with the Gunpla kits, and everybody who builds knows this, is there's something so satisfying about putting it together, like just the design and the tolerances and the engineering. I guess it's kind of like Lego. So that's what still, I just can't believe how much fun it is just snapping bits together. Like I'll get my girlfriend or my brother, I snap a piece together and I go, oh, I got to get him to do this. And I go, man, snap this together. And it's just two pieces. And they snap it together and they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I'm like, no, they don't really know how cool it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's such a stress reliever sometimes. I mean, especially in our adult world. I mean, you know, you're so... you have to be so responsible with thinking about this and taking care of that. Responsibility here and responsibility here, man. We can just sit down and follow directions and just lose yourself in it. Man, it's good therapy, man.
Totally. I think that's, like, I'm fortunate a lot of my hobbies have that sort of brain effect where it is kind of mindfulness because you're not thinking about anything, and that's why Gunpla is great. Yeah, you just put some music on, have a drink, and you just build, and it's great. Yeah.
We were talking about that, Josh, about skateboarding as well. It has the same kind of effect.
Definitely.
So definitely similar. So.
Man, I'm gonna start building while riding my skateboard, so I can just achieve zen. Yeah.
And carries the
combination. You gotta be able to do it. Maybe just get a longboard. You just be like crouch down on there. And
crouch down. Yeah.
Get on like the front part.
Yeah, man, totally. Okay. Yeah. Then get my little compressor on there, my airbrush. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you could attach it on the bottom. They have like those motorized skateboards with the
there we go.
All the motor underneath on those longboards.
Yeah.
I see guys riding them around here too. There's a couple of guys that have them.
I was at the beach the other day and it was really windy, and so I grabbed one of my big beach umbrellas from my car and got on my board and opened it up and like was using it like a sail to like move around, and it worked. It actually worked. It was really cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool. All right, so we talked about how you got started and everything.
Yeah.
How did you get into basically transitioning from just snapping the things to actually putting work into it and basically evolving into the Sinanju?
Yeah, wow. Of course, putting them together is a lot of fun, but then you see the box art and you see your finished kit, and you go, man, I really want to do something more to this because it looks like a plastic figure. So you start panel lining, and then I would do some hand details, and quickly I realized I needed to get an airbrush because everybody was raving about the airbrushes. I saved up for that and got an airbrush, and it just changed my whole building process. And I just got so into painting kits, and I would I actually had an old school compressor, the really loud ones that are like bang, and they just keep going. I didn't have a proper modeling one. I had an old school one, and I'm not wanting to go to sleep. It's like midnight, and it's really loud at night. So I would put the air compressor into this like linen cupboard where I keep my blankets, shut it, turn it on, so it would kind of double muffle it for the neighbors, and I'd let the tank fill up, and then I'd bring it back out, and I'd paint for like 4 minutes, and then I'd put it back in the linen cupboard.
Wow.
It was great. So now I have a hobby compressor, so it's nice and quiet.
Nice.
But yeah, I started just doing a lot of painting, and then I was seeing the work that other people were doing online, and I was going, what's the difference between my kit and their kit? And then I see all the panel lines, and I see the armor cutting, and I see all the decals, and the realistic battle damage. So I ordered myself a scriber and a bunch of chisels from eBay, and just started practicing with it. Because one thing that I liked was the kits were really good, but I wanted them to look like they were real, as if like it's actually a miniature of a realistic one. Once again, kind of to trick my brain and my imagination into thinking it's a real working mecha. So I'd look to real grades and the one-to-one Gundam in Darrah, and look for all the rivets and all the panel lines and everything. So basically, I wanted to make it look like it was realistic. So I just started practicing, doing panel lining, looking at tutorials online, putting in panel lines, putting in little chisel notches and miniature drill holes, and just kept practicing. Yeah. And my first few, I have a couple to show you guys. My first few, they're nowhere near as neat and tidy as my Sinanju is, of course, because they were my practice bases. But yeah, so probably over about 2 years working on adding the details all the way up to my Sinanju. Yeah.
Nice. So how many kits would you say it took you to get from, I guess, beginning to the Sinanju?
Let's see, it'd probably be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably I think 6 or 7 in terms of panel line details and armor cutting. Yeah, 6 or 7 full builds. Yeah, and my Sword Impulse, and then my Strike Gundam, and then my Sinanju Stein were probably when I started to really spend months on one single build. So those are the big kind of customs that I would do. Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like me to show some photos? I've got a couple photos while we're talking about it.
Yeah,
sure.
man.
Yeah. Okay, let me get them up for you. Okay, I'll just get my screen share going. Okay, you can see that there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's one of my first paint jobs. That's the Aegis, the HG Aegis. And I wanted to turn it into a white, so I did a lot of priming on that, and it still ended up being a little bit like a salmon pink color in the end. But that's one of my earliest builds, and that was when I was first learning how to do metallic paints. And I was using some, the Alclads. Yeah, I was using that. So that's a pretty simple build. I'll get a couple more shots up for you. Give me a sec.
That was the HG 1144 scale kit?
HG, yeah, that's it.
Mm. At first, when you first pulled it up, I thought it was the non-grade 1100 kit.
They must look pretty similar, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll show you a couple more. Yeah, you can see that. That's my Delta Plus, which was one of my first kits as well, and that was when I was doing the Alclad chroming and everything. I was just gung ho on chrome. I was amazed what you could do with an airbrush. So I started doing chrome on everything, and every inner frame became chrome. Yeah. The next one is this is a MG Age one that I worked on, And this is the
nice.
first time that I did any extra panel lining. So that's the before and that's the after there. And I did some airbrushing on it to make it look like it was kind of used. Yeah. And this is a really fun kit. It's super posable. It's insane how posable it is. And then I've got, this is a close-up of it. And you can see here that I've added some panel lines in. And now that I look at them, I can see that they're not perfectly straight. But this is the first or second one that I was doing the panel lines on, so I still did pretty good for being so new. Yeah. And then this is a high-grade Marasai that I was working on. So this was the first one that I did a lot of armor cutting and a lot of panel details on, just trying to make it look a little bit more realistic. And metallics on the gun and the inner frame, and I didn't like the orange piping, so of course I made that metallic. Yeah. And this is some close-ups of the head details. So this is when I was starting to get a bit more reliable on putting panel lines in, especially with it being such a smaller scale, being a high grade. And this is still it's not painted. The outside is just lightly sanded, and then with the panel wash in the panel lines. Yeah. So, yeah.
The main armor there is not painted?
No, not painted. No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's now when I look at it, it does look like it's painted. I think it's because with this one, sometimes I would lightly rub turpentine or thinners just very lightly over the plastic, and it gives it a dull kind of finish. You eventually have to rub it back a little bit. You don't want to put too much on. But if I don't do that, I use my little sanding paper, like sanding sponge, yeah, to soften it. Yeah, and it works really well. And this is a Rosen Zulu that I did. This was when I was doing the airbrushing and putting the compressor in the cupboard at nighttime. So I think I painted this guy almost in one night because I didn't want to stop. So yeah, pretty much just a straight paint. But that was me learning how to airbrush. And I have a this is a RG Mark II that I worked on. And so this is the first time I did a bunch of weathering, kind of making it look like it's been used a lot and been in battle. So where there's exposed inner frame, I put some extra matte black in there to make it look older and used. And that's a before and after. So I kind of I took the two-tone RG sort of coloring and extended it a little bit and made it a bit more reddy brown and had a bit more color differentiation between the armor parts. Yeah, so that was fun. And then this is the first when I really started to do all the armor cutting. I would get a bit addicted to revealing all this inner frame, so I cut heaps and heaps of parts out, and you can see on the torso there, the sword impulse, that I took a lot off of that red armor. Yeah, so
even that still is not as extreme as when you mentioned that before, that like you had some of your early builds were like really more extreme. I imagined it more. That's really even not as much. I've seen a lot of builds online where people take even more than that away. So I think.
Yeah.
Good, I think.
Oh, cool. I think I have a let me find my oh, this is probably the one that I did the first. Here we go. This might be slightly more extreme. This is my first armor cutting one. This is the MG Strike Freedom. But now that I look at it, I'm still pretty happy with it. Yeah. Yeah. So adding panel lines and stuff. Yeah. And that was and then I repainted the inner frame to be metallic gold as well. So that's a before and after there as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think that's and then I got mega into doing the metallics on the inner frames and learning how to make it look really old and rustic. So I'd paint the metallic on, and then I'd put some matte black in the corners and around joins and everything like that to try and make it look really heavy. That's a 3.0, the before and after. So half of the fun of me putting any kit together is building the inner frame and painting it and just putting it back together again. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah.
What because I know a few of the other people have already asked. For the chisels that you use, what chisels do you use and what widths do you find yourself using the most?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to go to screen share again because I have prepared a photo with some tools.
Okay.
So just give me a sec.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you guys kind of see my cursor over near 10, 11, and 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, yeah. So these are just chisels that I got from eBay, and I wish I knew the name and the brand of it, because then I could tell people, because a lot of people want to buy a similar chisel. But it was just a generic hobby chisel, and the sizes I got is 0.3, and then 0.5, and 1 millimeter and 2 millimeter. So it's these four here. And this chisel set's cool because you can change the blades depending on what you want to use. So this is what I use. These are a bit, they're not as sharp as a BMC chisel, so I've learned to use those. But this is what I use to do all my chiseling on all of my kits so far, including the Senanju. And for anybody who hasn't done any chiseling before, it's a weird thing to get used to, and it's a tricky sort of technique. But you just keep trying it, and then before you know it, your hand will know how to use the tool, and you'll be able to kind of rely on your hand to do good chiseling. Yeah, so those are my chisels, yeah.
Cool. Well, walk us through what else you have here, man.
Okay, these are, of course, everybody knows these. These are my nippers on the left here. And these are just cheap $12 ones, but I look after them, and they've lasted me a long time. Of course, I'd like to try out some of those crazy God hand clippers just to see what they're like. I don't know if my wallet wants to try spending the money for them, though, but yeah.
Right?
Yeah. This right here, the blue one, that's just my mechanical pencil. So when I'm doing my customizing, I sketch onto the plastic. The sanding sponge on the right here, number 14, that's what I rub that over most of the plastic. And then what that means is when I write with a mechanical pencil, it allows me to draw panel lines onto the armor, and it sticks on there. And then if I don't like what I've drawn, I just erase it with an eraser, or just even rub it away with my thumb. So I do a lot of planning and conceptualizing with just the pencil before I do any cuts. These 3, 4, and 5, those are probably, number 4 is probably actually my favorite tool in all of my toolbox, and it's just my little flat file. It's just a small set that I got from an electronics store here in Australia. It was maybe $13 or $14 for a set of 10, and they're not crazy Japanese quality, but they just work, and it's really good. And you get different shapes. Number 3 is a triangle. Number 4 is flat. 5 is kind of like a semi-curve, and then I have a round one. And these are really good for cleaning off nubs. I'm really particular about nubs. Because I don't paint my kits, I have to watch for stress marks. So I make sure to cut clean and leave some nub mark with my nippers, and then I go in and file the nubs away there. And the number 4, this is what I use. This file was what I used for the Senanju to reshape all of the round areas on the Senanju and make them look more boxy and more angular. And once again, it's like the chisels. It's a very odd tool to start to use, and your hand kind of doesn't know how to work with it, but you just keep practicing with it, and eventually it's almost like it becomes like an extension of your hand. Yeah, so it's cool. And number 6, of course, is the good old hobby knife. So that guy's good for cutting some nubs back, or also cutting your thumb when you slip and you're not holding apart right, which I do a lot. And number 7 is my trumpeter scriber. So this is my little baby scriber that I got, my first one, and it's a hook type scriber, so it's different to like a chisel. But I practice with this one, and I've learned how to use it in combination with the hobby knife and the scribe together. And I have some images of how I progress through that, which I'll show in a little bit. Number 8 is my little pin vise. And I got this guy from electronics store. He was maybe $8 or something like that. And the drill bit on top, that came in a set of maybe 10 or 15, and that was about another $10 or $15. So it's a little bit of outlay, but this guy's really good for armor separation. When I want to cut a hole in the middle of a piece of armor, I can drill, say, 5 or 6 holes with the drill bit, and then I clean it up with my hobby knife. So I use that a lot. I use that a lot on my Senanju. And then this teeny tiny toothpick looking thing here, number 9, that's actually, I think it's a 0.05 drill bit or something like that. It's like microscopically small, so small that it doesn't fit in the pin vise. So I sticky tape it to a little bit of off-cut runner. And so this is what I use to do all my tiny rivet holes, like on the Senanju and the Strike Gundam and the Senanju Stein. So this thing's really tiny. And lastly are my sanding guys on the right here, the sanding sponge. So this is what I use to make my kits look like they're painted even though they're not. I rub this down afterwards on the panels. And when you buy the sponge, it comes really rough when it's brand new because it's fresh. But once I've used it a little bit, it softens up. So I actually have a brand new one, which is hard, and a used one, which is a bit medium, and then a really old one that's very soft. So I kind of have 3 stages of sanding sponge now. So yeah, I really like this stuff. I recommend anybody who hasn't used it to try it. And because it's super soft, it can actually get into crevices and cracks and joins a lot easier than sandpaper does. So I really like it for that reason. Yeah. There we go.
Nice. It's cool to see everybody's, other people's tools and stuff like that, and kind of see what they use and how similar, comparing what tools I use to, other people. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sharing with everybody, because I know Clay on the chat, he's taking notes until his phone dies right now. So that's
What's
that's
up, Clay?
Yeah. But all right. So one of the questions that we got on Facebook, a viewer named Mo Chan, he asked, what made you come up with your concepts and stuff like that? You talked a little bit about conceptualizing on the armor and stuff like that, but how do you think of the shapes and stuff like that? Tell us about that.
Okay. Well, as I said before, I get inspired by realistic-looking machinery, even like tanks and planes, things that actually exist in our current military now. I get inspired by that and wanting to translate that into my Gunpla kits. And so it's all about trying to make even my eye as the builder look at something I've put together and that I've modded, and it's almost like my eye goes, wait, that looks real. So it's kind of like tricking myself. That's something that I try and achieve. And I've got a couple images to show you guys of some where I get some of my inspiration from. I'll get some images up for you. And I'll get the screen sharing again. So I get a lot of inspiration. You guys can see these, yeah. These are called Master Archives, and Bandai Sunrise puts these out. It's basically books based on a particular mobile suit, but it's all in Japanese, of course, but they go into insane detail, once again making it as if these things are real, which is just awesome. So that's the
books, by the way.
Sorry?
I love these books, by the way. I have all of them.
Oh, man. Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, I love the Zeta one. That's where I got some inspiration for the hummingbird. So, dude, I'm right there with you with the love for these books, man. But
man, that's exactly where I got my inspiration for my love for the Zeta as well. These are great. So yeah, any of the viewers out there who haven't seen these books, try and track them down. There's some places that have scans online. Of course, if you can get the original book, that's great. And they have this beautiful line artwork. I'll go down. This is Zephyrantes, or however you say that. Yeah. And you can see. I'll zoom up on this. You can see that there's all this insane amount of panel line detail and mechanical details all over the suit, which is probably close to being what a real grade has. But I like using these books to show me how I can add more detail to my kits. This is a GPO1, the full burn-in, and you can see here this thing is just loaded up with details. So what it helps my brain do is I try and think of like if I am in the pilot bay or the docking bay for where these Gundams are, and I'm actually like a mechanic and I'm needing to work on this thing just like a car. How am I going to take panels off to access the inner workings? So I try and think of it in a practicality sort of sense. How I put my panel line details on, I try and make it as if it's a panel that can be removed. Like a Formula One, the mechanic crew with an air drill just pulling off the tires. How I would do that to work on it. Yeah, little things here, little antennas, teeny tiny details. So I get a lot of inspiration from these kind of books because it makes it look like a real sort of military piece of weaponry, yeah. And down here on the bottom, you can see on the leg how it's got these panels being taken away. This is what I try and envision in my head, sort of in a 3D sense, how it would all come apart, and that helps me work out where I'll put some details. And yeah, here's an inner part of the Zeta arm, yeah, with all this mechanical inner frame. So half of the fun is just looking at this stuff. And they also have some really cool action poses of the suit. So this is from the GPO1 Master Archive, which is really cool. And this is the good old granddaddy flying through space. So they have some really cool CG art in there as well. So basically, that's what I do is I try and recreate it as if it was real. But granted that it takes a lot of time because I don't want to commit to a panel line cut or separating armor until I actually feel that the balance is right in the design. So, say for my Senanju, I'm working on the leg. I'll have two legs sitting there, and I'll sketch one design on one leg, and I'll sketch another design on the other leg, and I'll look at them both and see which one I like, and I'll get rid of one, redraw it on that leg again, and sometimes to do one panel line or one piece of armor, I'll conceptualize it and sketch it for maybe about 2 hours, and then I'll finally make a cut and spend about an hour actually modding it. So twice as much conceptualizing to the actual building. Yeah. Sometimes I still make a cut, and then as soon as I've made the cut, I go, crap, nope, I shouldn't have done that cut. I should have waited a little bit longer. So I still make mistakes that are mistakes in my mind. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm still trying to pursue making my kits look more and more realistic in a mechanical sense, but not like they've been actually modded by a human, which is kind of the ultimate challenge for me to do, to see if I can pull that off, because I see some builds online by some other builders, and I look at them and I'm like, that doesn't look like a human's touched that. That looks like a machine has made that. So that's a kind of level to aspire to for some builds. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry about that. My mic dropped out while you were talking, so I had to jump off and jump back on. That happened.
That's all right.
For me. I don't know why. But how do you? Let's say
Yeah.
you know, you're midway between conceptualizing and everything, and you know you've got the two designs on both legs and everything. Man, how do you decide? Because I know a lot of people will have asked, you know, how does he do it? How does he do it? How does he do it? You know, and I think the more detail that they get understanding the process,
Yeah.
you know, the closer they can come to, you know, taking that next step. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'll bring up something. I'll show some. I'll do another screen share for you guys. So this is my good old Senanju Stein, and I really like this. I'm really happy with what I did on this. But I can see now my panel lines. They don't make it look as much like a realistic panel. I've added in some panel lines, and the diagonals I'm not as much of a fan of anymore. It's just my personal taste has kind of changed. So I look at this work that I've done, and I can see where I could have done the panel lines a little bit differently to make it look more realistic. So basically, it's just all a learning curve. You're learning what you like and what aesthetics you want to put into your Gundam kits. But it just comes down to, I just look at each design that I've done and I go, which one do I like more? And so I think there's a real value in doing drafts and not just doing one design and trying to go with that. That's why I recommend people have two legs set out and they sketch on both one, so you can see a comparison, because I think it's really valuable to have your eye go back and forth, and it helps you decide what you like better. Kind of like having two flavors of ice cream, and you taste one and taste the other one, and it helps you to work out which one you really like. It's something that I find in artwork as well when I'm drawing, is I used to really want to get in and start to do my drawing straight away, put the ink down, but I've made myself do the concept first and do my base sketch so I can work out what I'm really happy with, and then when it comes to actually inking it in, or with Gunpla cutting it and putting the panel lines in, you can relax because you really like the kind of base sketch that you've done, and you're really satisfied with it. So I guess just believe your eye. Look at what you've done. look at other things online, and just trust your eye and go, there's something about this layout of panel lines that I think is too much, or maybe I can add a little bit more here. Because even on my Sinanju, there's a part on the calf of the leg, a big open panel, and I wanted to add something in. I'll see if I can get a photo of it to show everybody. And this is a tricky part for me to actually not add anything into, to make myself leave the panel lines that I had. Let me get it up for you, and I'll put a screen share on. Okay, so if you can see my mouse here, this is on the left leg, and this one piece here, see how it has the 3 lines there on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is, and then this panel line detail up here, all of this blank space, my eyes and my brain was telling me there's a lot of space, you've got to put some panel lines in there, put some details, it's too much space. So I sketched some panel lines on there, and I had 2 or 3 of these pieces, and I did a few drafts, and no draft really made me feel happy with it. Everything I put in felt like it was too much, so I erased all the drafts, and I did like 3 more drafts, and I was drawing on the leg, and still none of them worked. And so even up until the night before GBWC, I was still not sure, and I really wanted to put some panel line details in this empty space. But I decided to trust my eye and know that it was too much if I put more on, and I just left it with this big open space, and I'm happy with it. So even I'm learning when to not put more details in, and I think trusting your eye is a good thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you're so preaching my language, man. You know, I can't help but think about what more detail can I put into something, you know,
Yes.
and then I have to, at some point, just say, you know what, that's it. I'm done. I can't do any more. If I put too much in there, it's going to look like crap. Leave it be, and it is what it is, you know. So you're definitely talking my language with that, man.
Yeah.
So I definitely know how you feel.
Yeah, and I find, like, when I was working on the Sinanju, because I was working on it for about 7 months, and I did the torso first, and then I worked my way down the legs. When I went back to the torso, I saw the torso, and I was almost saying to past Josh, man, you could have done better panel lines on that torso, Josh. It's almost like you actually grow so quickly when you're spending that much time on one kit. So I'm sure new builders don't want to hear, you'll get better with time, because that's what everybody says. But you really do, and you'll actually even get better, and you'll be able to learn what you like more, even within a single Gunpla that you build. Even within one kit, you'll learn more what you like, just because you're seeing more. Yeah, so I'm still learning. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
I think
that's the main thing. It's just like whenever I talk to anybody, it's, you know, it's always, you're always still learning. But then the tough part for me is looking on like these forums and the groups and everything, and you know, these new guys are asking, man, how do I get good? How do I do this? How do I do that? And you know, you almost hate to say, man, it takes time. You're not going to do it that first time.
Yeah.
So lesson for everybody, all of you new guys out there, take your time and learn.
Yeah. And the thing I've done is I haven't tried to learn to achieve something. I've just been loving this hobby like crazy. So my learning is just me just having fun. Like, I'm just having fun putting panel lines in and everything. So just keep buying kits, whatever you can afford to buy. Buy kits you're interested in, and just have fun building these little robots. And the rest of it will come with it. Yeah.
Nice. You heard it from the man, everybody. All right, so let's talk about, man. Let's talk about this Sinanju, this masterpiece, if you will.
Oh man.
Man, you know, you took it to GBWC Australia, and you know, when everybody saw the initial pictures, especially on like Gundam Guy and stuff like that, and I think that's really, I think when people started to notice the Sinanju. Tell us a little bit about how you kind of reacted and how you felt, you know, with getting that much notoriety from this thing, and obviously winning the Australia GBWC. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I originally started the Sinanju, like I guess every year I'll do 1 or 2 mega customs, which will take me like 4 or 5 months to do. And the one before the Sinanju was my Strike Gundam, and I thought, okay, which one am I going to work on next? And I would be almost scared to decide what master grade I was going to work on because it's a big commitment. I decided, man, I really want to do this Sinanju. That'd be really cool. But I want to do something different with it because it's a really popular mobile suit. A lot of people have done customs of it, but I wanted to change it. And so once again, I thought, I want to try and make this thing look like it almost existed in the time when the RX-78 was like the lead mobile suit. So I really want to make it look more mechanical and more boxy, almost like it has less roundedness to it because it's a really smooth suit. So that was my concept, and at first it wasn't going to be for GBWC. It was just going to be for me, just to have to build and have fun with at home. So I started building it, and I started getting my file in there and trying to reshape all the armor parts and making it look more boxy and angular. And after I did it for maybe a month or 2, I thought, wait, that's right, the GBWC, that's that competition. I was thinking of entering it the year before, but I didn't. And I'm like, man, I might make it for this. I might enter this in. It'll be fun going down to Sydney, and because we have it down out of my state at an anime convention. So I started work on that, and about that time, I got an Instagram account and started posting on there and getting a few followers and a few people interested in the build. So I had people commenting and giving me feedback on my build throughout the whole probably 5 or 6 months up until GBWC. And it was crazy seeing how much people liked it because I come from that side of commenting on other people's works or showing my friends, man, you gotta check out this other builder's custom. It's amazing. So I come from that side of really appreciating other builders' work. And it was really cool. People on Instagram were just fun to talk to, talking about how to customize and the ideas that I put in. And so I slowly worked through this Sinanju. And as you said, Tim, you end up putting in all these details. I did it down one side of the Sinanju to get my balance right. And then I'm like, okay, now I get to just copy it, put it on the left side. That'll just be easy. And man, I was just cursing my past self for putting so many details into that one side of that kit. It was, oh man, it was horrible. So yeah, my expected finish time for the Sinanju was a lot later than I thought it was going to be. But seeing how, like, I spent a lot of time on my work, so I can see how other people would really enjoy it. So I wasn't as surprised that people liked my work because I figured there'd be people in the community that have similar sort of tastes, so that they would like my work. So it was really fun just seeing what people thought of it and getting all excited for the competition. But one thing I wanted to make sure I was going to do was I started off the Sinanju for myself, but just because I was putting it into the GBWC, I didn't want to change it to be like a competition entry. Because I didn't want to expect to win anything, because I had heard stories of some model competitions where some people, they've been working the whole year and they don't win anything and they feel so much disappointment because they had this goal. And I really didn't want to have that, and I didn't want to do anything to my Sinanju that I wouldn't normally do for myself, because I didn't want to say I don't win anything and I come home and then I have a Sinanju that I don't love like with all my heart like my other kits. So. And that was something I struggled with for like probably 6 months as I'm doing it, because painting is 1/3 of the judging, and I'm thinking, man, I really should paint this thing. I'm going to lose so many points just on that. And then I thought, no, I need to still keep this for me. And I went back and forth on that even up until the final week. But I stuck with it and just did it kind of for myself, and I ended up getting first place, which was just crazy. I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, but I didn't sleep the night before building this kit before I flew out. I worked all the way through the night, drove to the airport, flew down out of state, got to the place, and I still hadn't even painted the cuffs on the Sinanju because I ran out of time. So I'm in my hotel room with Tamiya mat and a brush, and I'm painting this on, I'd already put gold down, so I'm trying to slowly paint on here. We got to the convention center, and I'm setting it up, and the Sinanju has 23 thrusters on him, and I tip out the little bag, and I'm putting them on, and there's only 22. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, no, no, no. And of course, I still haven't had any sleep, so I am freaking out, like more than a normal human should. And I could not find it anywhere. My brother was there with me, and he's looking, and I'm like checking in my collar and in my belt and everything. And no, I couldn't find it, so I had to put it on display with this big honking LED sticking out of the side without a thruster on it. But lucky for me, the judges, they know that I didn't mean that, and obviously I left it. But I was penalized a little bit because as a modeler entering a competition, you should have control over your whole process for the building. Yeah. And I got home and found the thruster just sitting on my carpet in my living room. So yeah, I found it, and it's on there now. Yeah. So
man, I have to make an admission here.
Yeah.
When I first saw the Shinanju, and when I first learned that the thing was unpainted, man, I was just like, okay, how is that possible? I mean, like you said, painting's 1/3 of the total points. I'm like, how is that even? How does that even mathematically possible? How does this thing win when it's not even painted? But you know what, man? This obviously was before I kind of knew your personality through Instagram and everything like that. And I'm just a jerk anyways. But that's a whole different story. But man, after seeing it and seeing the actual work that went into it, you know what? I became a believer. What? That's me. That's me. So excellent stuff, man. Excellent.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I think I spoke to the judges. Kawaguchi was there, and we had a really good Australian modeler. He does miniatures. Mark Carlisle. He actually won the year before. And I was talking to him, and I asked him about my feedback. And he said, yeah, it's your craftsmanship, like your panel lines and the details you put in were just really well done. And he goes, it was really a tough decision for the judges, as most of these competitions are. And he said, next year you have to paint. Do not bring one that's not painted. So I have to paint next year. Yeah.
Well, but, hey, you know what? We might as well talk about it now. A lot of people are wondering what you're working on, and more importantly, what are you doing for GBC 2016? So you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I can talk about it. So probably even when I was first getting into Gundam, I saw the Zeta Plus. Let me get this guy. Or is
yes.
It? Yeah. You like this guy, don't you, Tim?
Oh, dude, that is my favorite kit. I know that kit and the A1 backwards and forwards.
Yeah,
I could probably put it together with no instructions at this point. So yeah.
So
love that.
If people don't know, it's a 2002 kit. It's a master grade, and I think it came out about the time of the 2.0 Zeta, so it's sort of similar. Here you go. Show it to everybody here. Wait. Yeah. So it's all gray, which there's something about that I really like because, as I've said, I like the kind of military aspect to some Gundam designs, and there's something about this Zeta. The Zeta head is one of the best heads in my opinion. I love this thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so I've really liked this kit, and let me see if I've got a photo to show you guys. Yeah, here we go. So I've set myself a bit of a challenge this year to convert. You can see that now. Yeah. So basically, it's the original Master Grade on the left, and then this is from the Master Archive, the Zeta Master Archive, and there's the C1 there on the right. But you can see its proportions are a lot different.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more lower leg and torso a little bit higher. The wings go a bit higher on the back, and the wings come lower in the back. The back skirt is a little bit longer, and there's a lot more details to it. So what I'm going to try and do is basically super detail up and make the Zeta look even more realistic than the Master Grade already does look. But I'm going to have to teach myself how to do some extensions in like the inner frame and the armor and everything to change the proportions, which I've never done before. So far this is my GBWC idea. It may change, but this is what I'm thinking on because I've been wanting to do this custom ever since I started building Master Grades, and now I feel that my skills are kind of at the level where I'd be happy with it. But it's going to be a lot of work, and there's probably going to be a lot of putty, which will be a first for me. So I'm going to do a lot of practicing with that, and hopefully my paint job will turn out good because I'll have to paint this one. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to work on. Yeah.
That line art is just so beautiful. It's
yeah.
so nice.
It's fantastic. I have this thing on my mobile phone, and I'll just look at that photo like every few days and just look at it like it's a piece of, I don't know, like it's a Michelangelo or something like that.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
I mean, for mech heads, it might as well be, you know.
Yeah. That's something that's crazy. I can't believe how much I just enjoy looking at a good mech line art now. It's like a fine wine. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some amazing artists out there that do work, yourself included. So man, yeah, I got all the respect in the world for those guys. So
yeah,
very cool, very cool. Well, that answers everybody's burning question of the moment, what you're working on. So let's finish up kind of our conversation because we got about a half hour left. Let's talk about the big event. Japan, man. Let's talk us through it. Talk us through the whole deal.
Man, well, of course, if you get first place for each respective country, you win a free trip to Japan for the grand final for GBWC. And that means Bandai Sunrise pays for your flights over, and they put you up in a hotel. And it's about, I think it's 8 other countries. I may be wrong. 8 other countries, and there's adult winner from each country, and then a youth winner from each country. So it's about 16 entrants, and everybody comes over, and they'll bring over like a brother or a sister, or a mom or a dad, or even like a wife and their kids or something like that. So you end up meeting all these people and all these people that are close to them, and spending a weekend with them. And I've been to Japan before one time, so I was really looking forward to it. And the GBWC is based at Darrah, where there's Darrah City, the big shopping center, where, of course, that's where the life-size RX-782 is. And have either of you guys seen that in person?
Yes.
No, I wish.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
Tim, you gotta see it. Yeah, Zach, did you like it, Zach? Were you really impressed, or?
Yeah, actually, the first time I saw it was like in 2009, like right when it first was made.
Oh wow.
So I saw it. That was before it was in front of Darrah, before it was moved there, and it was over like closer to the beach near there, on like a little bit different part of the island. So it was really cool at that time, and it was just like no buildings around there, so you just like had like the background of just like the Rainbow Bridge there behind it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was really awesome, and I've seen it a couple of times since then too. Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. There's something about it. It's just so impressive to see. So yeah, if anybody can get over there and check it out, definitely make it on your list for things to see. And Tim, yeah, you'll love it. I sat underneath it like it was a waterfall in a big massive forest. I just stared at it for like an hour and a half straight. It's so cool, and you get so much inspiration from my style of building. I'm looking at all the close-up panels and rivet details. Yeah. So anyway, if I'm
lucky, I'll be there next. So.
Oh yes! Oh man, that's it. Yeah.
I don't want to jinx myself or anything.
No, man. Just buy your ticket now. Just do it. It's worth
it.
Right. So they for each kind of group. So Australia, I went over with a youth winner from here and her brother, and one of the Bandai representatives met us at the airport, picked us up, and they take you back to the hotel. So they're really accommodating like that. It's like you're a guest over there, and they look after you. Take you to the hotel, and everybody gets up bright and early the next morning and goes to the Darrah City, where they have all the glass cases set up for everybody to set up their entries. And this is exciting because you're getting to see all these entries that you've seen online over the past like 4 or 5 months. You're getting to see them in the flesh, and they're just insane up close. The other entries look really good in photos, but when you see them up close, your mouth actually drops open. It's just insane. So we're all setting them up, and one of my friends, one of the guys I met, the Italian entrant, Riccardo, he did the new Vercar, I think, and it has all these wing packs on it. Really beautiful design, and he was like me. He had like even more LEDs than mine. I think he had like 30 or something LEDs in the legs and the eyes and the guns. we're setting him up, and he came up to me halfway through, and he was freaking out because some of his wires, when he was putting it back together, they had broken. And I know the guy's pain because my thruster was missing on my Senanju. And when you've been working on something for like 7 months, it can just destroy you when it's not what you intended it to be. Right. And Kawaguchi's coming around in like 15 minutes to do the judging and everything. And the poor guy, I felt so bad for him. He ended up putting it back together, and some of the LEDs weren't working. I don't think the eyes were working in the gun. So man, I felt for him. And we finished setting up everything, and seeing all the kits set out was just amazing. And then we went through to the back, and they had the winners' announcements. Full stage show. The production on this thing is just really cool. And Kawaguchi's on stage with 2 special guests and the host, and they run through all the entrants. And this is sitting inside the Gundam Front Tokyo. So there's the life-size Strike Freedom Gundam sitting just to your left while you're seeing all these awards be given out. It's amazing. And they announced they had 2 special awards. There were a red and a blue trophy, which were special awards from different businesses. And Riccardo, the Italian entrant, whose LEDs weren't working, he actually got the special entrant award. I think it was the red or blue trophy. And man, I cheered so loud for this guy because his kit really was worth it, and it was so cool. And so I was really stoked for him. And it shows that even if you think it's not what you wanted it to be, you can still do it, because yeah, he put in the hard work. Yeah. So what was interesting was I'm over there for the competition, but pretty soon the competition is finished, and then we're all heading off to this dinner party with all the Bandai staff and all the entrants. And by this time, you've been with everybody for about 2 days. So it's like when you go away to high school camp or something, you end up being friends with people really quickly. And so it's just like having a dinner party with all these new friends that you have, and everybody's having fun, eating and drinking. And they had these trivia questions where they put them up on this projector, and they would say, okay, everybody's table has to guess which polycap runner this one is from which kit. And of course, we're just so into it, and I'm like, I know that polycap runner. I know it. It's not that one. It's this one. And we're trying to choose it, and we're deciding. And every table that guessed the right answer, they would give you out these plastic bags. And we did like maybe 5 or 6 questions, and everybody ends up having a few plastic bags. And then out the front, they said, okay, everybody get ready. And they brought out these massive boxes of all these runner parts, just blank runners that have taken out from other kits. They pour them in all this big tray in the front. And they said, everybody run up and grab as much as you want. And so everybody's running up and panicking, grabbing all these runners. Everybody's laughing. It was like hyenas on some dead antelope or something. We were just diving in. It was great. So it was so much fun. They really made the dinner just a big highlight of the weekend. And Kawaguchi came out dressed like Santa Claus. And they had all these Gundam kits sitting behind him. And it's basically like a raffle where every entrant gets their name drawn out eventually, and he chooses what he wants to give. So some people got PG Strike Freedoms, and one person won a PG Banshee and a PG Unicorn, like in one hit. It's crazy. And they were giving away high grade sets. So if you get high grade or something, you get maybe like 6 or 7 kits. And I won the real grade set, so it was like 5 or 6 real grade kits, which is just really cool. Yeah. And another part of the day is they take you out into Akihabara. A lot of people, it's their first time to Japan, so seeing the electronic district in Japan is crazy. And they take you to a model shop called Yellow Submarine, and it's heaven. You go in there and they have model kits galore, because Australia doesn't have much Gunpla in model shops. We have like a few shelves. So seeing it like floor to ceiling, and you're just like, I need to buy everything. What if I never come back? I need to buy everything. So it's so much fun running around there, and you feel like a little kid buying all the kits and everything. And they have all the tools. So I bought a bunch of BMC chisels, which was just expensive, but I'll pay that off later. But they also have a bunch of kit bashing sets where basically they break up some runners from a kit. So you might have like the armor from an MG Senanju, just the leg armor, or you might have the inner frame from Strike Freedom, and you can buy these in bags. So it was a dream for so many of the entrants to see all these bags, probably going to be done into the GBWC 2016 entrance. Yeah, so, yeah, it was really cool. Yeah,
that's one of the things, especially like over here in the U.S. It's the same way. I mean, you might luck into a store that has some, and maybe they might have, you know, a little bit to carry, but nothing like it is over in Japan. And I know, Zach, you did an amazing video. Where was that? Was that the camera shop?
Yeah, that was in Osaka, in Yodobashi Camera, as well as Mandarake there. One Mandarake there.
Yeah, dude, I will watch that on repeat just to see those stores. It's amazing. So, guys, if you've not seen Zach's video, that shopping in Japan video, you need to check that out. It's like any modeler's heaven. Seriously, check it out. Go to his channel after we finish, of course, and watch it. You won't regret it. Trust me. So,
not too much wonder as to why it's the most popular video on my channel.
I mean, it's amazing, man. I mean, what are you gonna do? You know?
I would really, really love to go back to Japan this year just to record more videos. Because if they're as successful as that video is, it'll pay off the trip if there's a handful of videos that successful.
Yeah.
Nice.
Take your skateboard too. Skate
of
around.
course.
Yeah.
Yes.
You betcha.
I'll have to,
yeah.
You know. Oh, well, okay. Well, we'll talk about skateboards later.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say something about that, but
have you ever skateboarded, Tim?
No, man. I'm not that type of guy, dude. You know what? I'm not the balancing, you know, graceful guy. I'm the more humble type of dude. So why I'm in modeling, I have no idea. But you know, it is what it is. But you know, speaking of skateboarding and videos, man. If you guys have not checked out Josh's trip videos to Japan, I mean, it's only like what, 16 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, about 16. Yeah.
Yeah, and seriously, it's a good 16 minutes of your life that you will be totally satisfied watching. When I watched it the first time, I had so much fun watching this video. It was like being there, living vicariously through Josh. It was an awesome video. So guys, check that video out. It was great. It really was great. And also the video, the setup, I guess what is a setup video for the models and everything in the display cases and all that. That's really cool too. So you know, take about a half hour of your life and do yourself a favor, watch those videos. So
I wanted to make those two videos, like the one where it's like the trip, and then I'm like, I know as a builder, I check YouTube for past GBWCs, so I'm like, I'm gonna make a separate video that's just minutes and minutes of just the entrance. So yeah, make sure that people, if you're watching them, see the two videos, and the second video has all the entrance up close from different angles, so you can get all inspired for next year.
Very cool. Very cool. So let's real quick. We got about a little less than 20 minutes to go. So really quick, talk us through your experience with the other builders, man. You know, who did you get to know, man? Who did you get to become friends with, and all that good stuff? Talk to us a little bit about those guys.
Well, I'm gonna do pretty badly with names because I was only there for 2 days, but so all the names are a little bit messed up for me. But I can probably relate it to their entrant, and I can say that builder for their actual kit. So it's cool. You end up like the first night I was there, I had some dinner and drinks with Kevin from the States and Ricardo from Italy, and then Thailand entrant. What's his name again?
I'm drawing a.
Yeah, well, everybody knows the one who won. Yeah. So win. That's it. Yeah. And so I met with those three guys, and it's cool. I was talking to Ricardo about his entry and how he built it and what went into it, and then we're talking about what they just get up to for jobs and what they do for fun back in their home countries. So instantly you're talking with these just really cool people that you share a hobby with. And so you can get mad into the hobby talking about the details, but then you just get to know them as humans. It's really cool. Then I met the Japanese entrant, the Japanese girl. I think she got third or second with the final shot Gundam.
Right.
I met her, and of course there's a big language barrier there. She was there with her mom and dad and her little brothers and sisters. But we were out the front of the life-size Gundam, and we're looking up at it, watching the animated feature that's on the wall, and I feel this tap on my leg, and I hear these little voices talking to me in Japanese, and I look down, and it's her little sister and brother, and they're saying this thing to me, and I'm like, what are they saying? And the mother says, oh, they're saying, play with us. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah. And so then I ended up just playing tag around the life-size Gundam and running around with these kids, like chasing them and scaring them and doing fake Monster Josh version of me. And so you're there for the competition, but man, you're just making these friends and meeting these lovely people, which is just really cool. And I went out to sushi with Kevin and the Bandai representatives, and we're just having plate after plate, and we're stacking up all these sushi plates, just having lunch together. And then also when people are setting up their kits, there was a bit of time to talk to them about it. And so you're asking them how they put kits together, what their painting style was, things that they would have done differently. And my main curious thing was how long they spent on it, because I know I spent a long time on mine. I'm drawing a blank now. Ask me another question.
Well, actually, man, we got about 15 minutes, so
okay.
We need to start kind of putting a bow on everything here. Now, I know you guys have an announcement to make, a little collaboration of yours. So, you guys want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, it's not too much on my end. It's mostly Josh's work, but we're featuring one of Josh's drawings, his illustration, on a T-shirt that's going to be for sale on my shop, my Store Envy shop. So I think Josh has his. We both should have one. Mine is still in the mail, though. It hasn't got here in time. But Josh has his, so I guess he's maybe changing off camera. There you go.
Yeah,
there it is.
So my strike drawing.
Nice.
I'm not sure. Let me back up a little bit. What? There we go. Yeah. And it came out really good. It looks like it's drawn on the shirt.
Yeah. So he said the detail's really good. Obviously, that size does look a little bit big on you now that you say it.
Yeah. I'll just eat more burgers and put on some weight.
But yeah. So that's just the test shirt. I think we're gonna maybe adjust the position of the drawing on the front. We might make it a little bit higher, and then.
And I'll show people the back of it. Let me take it off again. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, sure. So that I need to adjust that just a little bit, and then I'll put the shirt up on my Store Envy shop today. I'll try to do that as soon as I can, just so if you guys are excited about ordering one of those, you can do it as soon as possible. There's the back.
Yeah, so it's got both of our logos. Yeah.
Yeah.
It turned out really good.
Yeah, so really cool shirts that's going to be available there. So by that, Josh and I are going to be splitting the profits for that. So most of the profit for all the sales of that shirt is going to be going for Josh. So if you guys want to help support Josh, buy one of those shirts. And I think he's hopefully planning to do some more shirts like that on your own, right?
Yeah, yeah. I've got all my drawings on my website, but of course, people ask me for shirts, so I'm going to check out how I can do some shirts for that as well. Yeah, so I'll keep everybody posted when that develops. Yeah.
Just to answer, someone asked in the chat, Gunpla Joe asked, do you ship your t-shirts? No, they're not shipped directly from me. You just order on the site there, and they're just shipped out from there directly, so you can flip that up. Anyway, so yeah, it's really awesome. So thanks to Josh. Thanks, Josh, for
You're welcome.
I just had that idea. Of course, I really loved his artwork, and I've just recently been working on making shirts for my shop, so I thought talk to him about that, and Josh said cool. So
yeah, man, it's fun being part of it. It's great. Yeah.
We were on the fence between a few different designs we were working on. Ended up eventually going with that one. I think it'll be good. So,
yeah.
I can't wait to get mine. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it'll be here soon.
Hopefully you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a few more weeks. Korean post office will deliver it.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so if you want that shirt, I'm going to be putting that up on the shop today. So if you guys are watching live, that will be in maybe a few hours. If you guys are catching this video later, the link to my shop is in the video description below. You can find that there, so go check that out. Yep. And then we have something else we're going to give away, right? Are we going to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about that here real quick. So Josh, you want to show everybody what you're graciously giving away?
Yes. When I was in Japan at the GBWC dinner, I won the real grade set, and all of them are signed by Kawaguchi himself. So I have this red frame, and as you can see here, where we got it down on the left, down here is his signature in gold ink. So I want to give that away to one of the viewers. Yeah, because it's a really cool kit. And so, yeah.
Tell them how they can win.
Yeah, so guys, basically what we've done here is Zach has sent us a humorous picture, and we're going to have a contest. Sorry?
Josh sent it.
Damn it, I'm sorry, man. That's my fault. Anyway,
I'm Josh. I don't have the glasses. He's the one with the glasses. Yeah.
Josh has graciously sent us a funny picture that we're going to be posting on the Gunpla Talk Facebook page. And basically what the contest entails is it's a captioning contest. So the best caption wins. You're going to have 1 week that will be posted right after the show. And we're going to pick the best caption, and whoever has the best caption wins that awesome kit signed by Kawaguchi. Simple as that. So think of a caption, think of some words to put against a picture. You don't need any special skills or anything like that. You just need to know words, and I think everybody can do that as long as they're watching. So very, very easy to enter. Check it out after the show on the Gunpla Talk page. And win a kit, man. It's awesome.
Not just any kit. That's signed.
I know. An awesome kit signed by Kawaguchi. What more can you ask for? Coming from Josh Darrah, too. I mean,
I'll even put like Australian Air in the box before I send it, so it's even better. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
A handful of that Australian dirt.
You know what's another draw for this?
Oh.
Maybe Josh can autograph something and put it in the package.
Oh.
Well, why don't you sign it too?
Let me do that. I'm going to do that right now.
You know what? I just heard 100 heads just explode over that.
Okay, here we go. I have a pen. I'm going to sign it. Okay. I don't want to do it over a Kawaguchi. That would be just disrespectful.
That'd be pretty funny.
Okay. It's on there. You probably can't see it, but there we go. Josh Darrah.
Wow. Look at that.
Oh, man.
Everybody, you get two awesome signatures for the price of one kit. Well, hell, for the price of a free kit.
I was going to say for the price
of a free kit.
The price of a little bit of interesting caption there. So.
Yeah, for you to write some words on a website. Come on, easy stuff. So
I'll be drinking coffee as I look through the entries, and I'll be measuring how much coffee I spit per entry. So make me spit coffee from laughing, and then you'll get that kit. Yeah.
Awesome. And I do want to stress, man, this is open to everybody. We are not limiting it to any one country or one region. This is to everybody. So I don't care if you live in the U.S., Australia, the U.K., Korea, Japan, Papua New Guinea, wherever, it's open. So.
But not Canada, so, right?
Huh?
So we decided no Canada, right?
Why no Canada?
I'm just kidding.
Hey man, Canada's are cool people, man. They say that crazy A thing.
No.
Canada's are cool people, man.
Yeah. Shipping everywhere. And like our Facebook page, if you guys haven't.
Definitely.
To be updated on the future shows, and we're going to be, we don't often do it, but we should be doing it more. Taking more polls, what you guys want to see, what you guys want us to talk about, and stuff like that. So like our Facebook page. Yeah.
Definitely.
And
Interact with
individual
us.
pages. Yes.
Yeah, like our Facebook pages, like our Instagram pages. We'll go through that here in a minute.
Sure.
But I want to talk about one thing here just right quick. Another T-shirt announcement, if you will.
Yeah.
Win, who won GBWC. He's also known as the Paint Pusher on his Facebook page, and he does those really cool Victorian type of portraits with Gundam heads on them, right? Everybody's seen those on Gundam Guy and knows what I'm talking about. So they're really, really cool. So Win is actually one of the admins at It's a Gundam Gunpla group on Facebook. And I've been collaborating with those guys, probably for the better part of this year, 2015. And so basically part of their shirts, part of the profits for their shirts goes into their yearly competition. And Win has graciously enough provided us with all of those portraits to put on T-shirts. So Wave 1 right now is up on the Child of Mecha store, so check that out. Really, really cool stuff. There's about a dozen on there right now, and I'm going to show you here right quick. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
So that's just the Shinanju T-shirt right there. And if you go down here, there's Paint Pusher portraits, and there's a bunch of them right now. There's, like I said, excuse me, like I said, there's about a dozen of them from all the different kinds of series and everything like that. My personal favorite is this guy right here, the bear guy. There's just something quirky and corny about it. I just like it. So, definitely check that out. Go and, if you can, purchase a T-shirt. It goes to a good cause. Like I said, their yearly competition. Their yearly competition right now, the grand prize will be a high-res Barbados. The kit that just got announced, that crazy expensive Barbados kit that I would never even dream about buying. But that's just personal preference. But it's a cool thing, man. So they're going to give that away. But they need support. They need your support from you guys. Like I said, Wave 1 is up on the store right now. It's coming soon. They should be up live sometime this weekend, so check that out. And Wave 2 should be out next weekend, so about a dozen more. So about 24 all in total, 24, 25, give or take. So, man, check those out. Also, check out the other cool T-shirts and the other hats and swag that you can get on Child of Mecha. Get fresh, Just got this, the blacked out I Build Giant Robots shirt right there.
I like that one.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, check it out. So, with that being said, let's transition into plugs. I'll just go first real quick. Child of Mecha on Facebook, childofmecha.com, Child of Mecha on Instagram. Child of Mecha shop, like I said, get your swag, good stuff. Man, but that's it. Man, hit up Gunpla Talk page, like our Gunpla Talk page. Take a look at our past shows. Man, they're really cool. We talk to a lot of cool people. So check it out. Keep watching us. Keep supporting. So.
I watch the old episodes while I'm building. So, man, if anybody hasn't watched them, just put them on, build, and listen to the guys talk. It's great stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's like 2 hours of Gunpla. What more do you want to talk about? Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we got a super fan in Josh. That is great.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good. That makes me feel good. Cool. Zach, what do you got for us in terms of plugs, man? Hit it up.
Yeah, well, you're here on my channel. My YouTube channel, but I've also got my Instagram, of course, and my Facebook page as well, and my own blog, which is still not been updated, but I would like to work on that soon. But for my sponsor, actually, they're having me, I'm going to be doing a couple of blog posts for them, a couple per month, and the first one being a full blog post on the Master Grade RX-7802, the Origin version. Amazing kit. So I just spent like 3 hours last night photographing that kit for that blog post. So taking a bunch of photos. So I'm going to be writing up that blog post today. And so once that blog post is done and on their blog, it's not going to be on mine. It's going to be on my sponsor, Mind Phoenix's blog. Once that's posted, I'll post that on my Facebook page. You guys can check that out if you want to see like a blog review, or if you just wanted to watch my video review. Of course, that's on my channel already. So awesome kit. Check that out later. That's it.
And also check out the Zach's comment section, because there's usually some sort of hilarity that ensues, and I just love it.
Yes. More often than not, there'll be some entertaining comments there. So check it out.
Oh, you gotta admit, it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Comments are great.
That's why YouTube is so good. It's the comments. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, Zach. I appreciate it as always. Man, Mr. Josh Darrah, tell us, plug us, with everything that you want to plug, man. Go.
Well, I'm Joshua Darrah on all the social medias, so Facebook and Instagram and YouTube as well. I post most of my Gunpla stuff on my Facebook Joshua Darrah artist site. So go there. That's where all my Gundam stuff is and all my artwork. And I love chatting to everybody. So message me and I'll say hi back, answer questions, give you ideas, and just chat about whatever you want. And on my YouTube, I don't have Gunpla videos on there, but I have short films, things I love doing, skateboarding. I go to a trampoline park where I jump around and run up walls and stuff. So if you want to watch something that's not Gunpla, you can check that out. And I actually did a prank video. This is a few years ago. And I used to have long hair. I cut it all off, and to trick my brother, I glued it all together onto this piece of material and made my own wig out of it. And then I tricked my brother. I was hanging out with him, had the wig on, and I pulled it off, and suddenly I had shaved head. And I ended up doing it to all my family members and my friends and stuff, and filmed the whole thing. And it's just, I mean, I really like it, but check it out. It's called Wig from My Own Hair Prank, and it's on my channel. If you want to laugh, check that out. Yeah. But yeah, say hi to me on all the social medias, and I'd love to chat to you. And thanks so much for having me, guys. This is great.
Brother, thank you so much for being a part. It's been an absolute pleasure. You're a hell of a guy. One of the folks in the chat said it best, and I absolutely agree, man. You exude nothing but positive energy, and I wish there were more people like you in the world, brother. I really do. You're an awesome dude. Doing what you're doing, and man, we want to definitely have you on again in the future. That is a definite.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to.
Cool.
And thanks so much to all the viewers and everybody who was chatting in the live chat. It was good to have you guys here. It's weird not seeing you guys as well, but I hope you enjoyed the show, and thanks for having me. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, the chat has been awesome. The people have been talking about what we were talking about and talking about their own stuff. So.
Cool.
Yeah, that's good.
I love this hobby.
Yeah, thank you, Josh, for coming on. Definitely. Yeah, just from my own talking with Josh as well, I know he's super, super helpful and just awesome guy to talk to. So yeah, definitely, guys, hit him up. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, with that being said, I also want to thank everybody that's tuned in, everybody in the chat, everybody that's asked questions across all the different pages, all the likes and the shares and everything. You guys have been great. Thank you very much. You're the reason we do what we do and why we put on this show. So thank you very much. And, man, with that being said, tune in next time. We'll talk about some more Gunpla.
See you in February.
See ya.
See you guys.
Bye-bye. And that's